You are standing in the middle of an argument right now, or you were recently, or you know one is coming. And the worst part is not the fight itself. The worst part is what happens inside you during it. Your heart starts pounding. Your thoughts scatter in 100 directions. Your mouth starts moving before your brain can catch up. And then, before you even realize it, you have said something you cannot take back. You have lost control. And the moment it is over, you are left sitting there, replaying every word, wondering how you became someone you do not even recognize. That feeling is not weakness. That feeling is what happens to almost every single person on this planet who has never been taught how to actually handle conflict. And here's the painful truth that nobody tells you. You were never taught this. Not in school, not by most parents, not by society. You were just expected to figure it out, and when you could not, you blamed yourself. But before we go any deeper into this, I want you to know there are related programs linked in the description below this video that go far beyond what we can cover here. Most people scroll past things like that. Most people think they do not need extra help. And honestly, if you are one of those people, keep watching anyway, because what you are about to learn might change your mind. Now let me ask you something. Think about the last time a conflict spiraled out of control. Not a small disagreement, a real one. The kind where voices got louder, where someone said something sharp and cutting, where the air in the room felt heavy and suffocating. What did that cost you? I am not talking about money right now. I am talking about the emotional cost. The hours you spent feeling sick to your stomach afterward, the relationships that quietly cracked under the pressure. The nights you lay awake staring at the ceiling, running the conversation over and over in your head, trying to figure out where everything went wrong. Here is what conflict does to people who have no tools to handle it. It isolates them, it makes them feel like they are constantly at war with the people they love most. It turns every disagreement into a catastrophe. And over time, people start to avoid difficult conversations altogether. They go silent, they bottle everything up, and then one day, everything explodes, and the damage is worse than anything a single argument could have caused. This is not a small problem. Research on relationship conflict shows that unresolved and poorly handled conflict is one of the top reasons relationships break down, whether they are romantic, professional, or personal. And yet, the average person spends zero time learning how to actually do this better. They just keep hoping things will improve on their own. They never do. So let me give you the real framework, the one that actually works, and I am going to break it down so simply that you can start using it today, in the very next disagreement you face. The first thing you have to understand is this. Conflict does not start when someone raises their voice. It starts the moment you feel threatened. Something triggers you. Maybe it is a word, a tone, a look, a silence that lasts 2 seconds too long. Your brain immediately goes into protection mode. Your nervous system floods your body with stress hormones, and from that point forward, you are no longer thinking clearly. You are reacting from survival mode. And here is where most people make their biggest mistake. They try to win the argument while they are in that state. They try to make their point, defend themselves, explain their position, all while their brain is essentially on fire. It does not work. It has never worked. And it will not start working no matter how smart or articulate you are. So step 1 is the most important thing you will ever do in a conflict. You pause, not because you are giving up, not because the other person is right, but because you physically cannot access your best thinking when your nervous system is in chaos. Even taking 3 slow, deliberate breaths shifts your biology. It begins to bring your prefrontal cortex back online, the part of your brain that can actually think, empathize, and problem solve. That pause is not passive. That pause is power. Now here is where it gets even more interesting, and most people have never heard this. The thing you are fighting about almost never matters as much as the thing underneath the thing. Someone snaps at you about doing the dishes. They are not actually upset about the dishes. They are feeling unappreciated, overlooked, exhausted, invisible. And when you respond to the surface complaint without addressing the emotion underneath it, you pour fuel on a fire you do not even see. This is why asking a single question changes everything. And the question is simple. What is actually bothering you right now? Not said with sarcasm, not said with defensiveness. Said with genuine curiosity, because the moment the other person feels like you are actually trying to understand them rather than defeat them, the entire dynamic shifts, the temperature drops, the walls come down, and now you are having a real conversation instead of a battle. Social proof of this is everywhere. Conflict resolution experts who have worked in corporate environments, in family therapy, in international negotiations, all point to the same core principle. People do not need to be agreed with, they need to feel heard. And there is a profound difference between those two things. You can completely disagree with someone and still make them feel understood. That is the skill. That is what separates people who handle conflict with grace from people who keep breaking the same things over and over. Now let me talk about what happens when you actually get this right, because I want you to feel this, not just understand it intellectually. Imagine walking into a difficult conversation and actually feeling calm, not pretending to be calm, actually being calm because you know what you are doing. Imagine being able to say exactly what you need to say without your voice shaking, without your thoughts jumbling, without saying something you will regret the moment it leaves your mouth. Imagine the person on the other side of that conversation looking at you differently. Not with anger, not with frustration, but with something that feels like relief. Because finally, someone is talking to them the way they have always needed to be talked to. That shift does not just resolve the immediate conflict, it rewires the relationship. It builds something called earned trust. And earned trust is the foundation of every meaningful connection in your life. People who develop real conflict skills do not just stop fighting less, they start building deeper relationships, faster. They move up in their careers, because they can navigate difficult conversations with colleagues and leaders. They create homes where their children feel safe to express themselves. They stop dreading their phones ringing because they are no longer afraid of hard conversations. They become the person that other people lean on in crisis, because that kind of steady, grounded presence is rare and magnetic. And here is the piece that ties everything together. Conflict is not the enemy of connection. Handled wrong, it destroys connection. Handled right, it deepens it more than almost anything else can. Every time you walk through a difficult moment with someone and both of you come out the other side with more respect for each other, you have built something that casual, easy moments never could. That is the real gift of learning this skill. Now most people will watch this video and feel inspired for about 20 minutes and then go right back to their old patterns the next time something triggers them. Because inspiration without a real system, without real tools, without real practice, fades. And that is exactly why the programs in the description below exist. Not for everyone, honestly, not for most people. Most people are comfortable staying where they are. But if something in this video felt true to you, if something in you recognized that you have been handling this wrong and you are ready to actually change it, then those programs are built for people exactly like you. The window to access them does not stay open forever. So if you are serious, the description is right below you. You already know what uncontrolled conflict costs you. You have felt it. Now you know what is possible when you do it differently. The only question left is what you choose to do with that knowledge.